Hey guys, just a quick short email or message along with the email. Normally I send you a long list the email. I figured today I'm just gonna do this. Who reads emails anymore anyway, right? So yeah, so your link's on here attached to this, and yeah, today I thought I'd talk about something really interesting. I'm gonna do more of this than just emails because we're like the last 5 weeks. I want to get as much stuff into you guys as I can because yeah, 10 weeks is not a long time, and it's almost spring, right? February. I don't know what today, February 15th, because yesterday was Valentine's Day. So yeah, so I'm in my living room and I've got accessories. Just so you know what I'm watching on TV while I'm doing this, Vancouver, just because I miss it so much. Anyhow, so accessories. One accessory I'm going to say right off the bat, it's not an accessory, cross training. I'm going to say that's important, guys. Add stuff to what you do. I know time's limited, but you can do stuff at home. I just finished spin, so rode my bike trainer at home, but take a spin class if you want. Do something else. I swim, that's another option. Yoga, spin classes, whatever you want. I don't know if anybody does the 20-minute aerobics anymore, but there's aerobics. There's my club. There's like a bunch of stuff. There's not Orange Theory, by the way, but yeah, there's other stuff to do. And the trick is to be overall fit, not just run fit. Because problem is if you just do nothing but run, other muscles get weaker while some get stronger. And a lot of times that's what causes a lot of the injuries and stuff. For me, I find if I run a lot, my quads get really, really tight. What happens is they tighten up, they pull my trunk forward, I get a sore back. So I have to do stuff for my hamstrings, which pulls me back up again. Actually, a lot of chiropractors will have you do that, and physios as well. And all I do now is I throw in spiking, which works my hamstrings a little bit more and my core a little bit more. Swimming too. Swimming, actually, you wouldn't believe this, but it's actually works your core because it's just not the arms that propel you forward, it's actually the rocking back and forth as well. So take swimming lessons. I'm going to say, do something else other than just running. Make it about overall fitness. Then you'll make your running that much easier. You'll find that guys will do other things like they do foam rolling to get rid of things that hurt. I'm going to post a video with this email that shows you what to do with this, but I think we're going to bring somebody in to show you how to use a foam roller too. So for that date, you guys all want to be joining in because they're going to be live and you can do foam rolling with somebody else virtually. Anyhow, so yeah, foam roller is important. Other things too, just it's funny reason I thought about this was yesterday at my store, the running room here in St. Albert. If you're ever here, come shop. People come in looking for accessories. They look for other things other than just running shoes and clothes. Like what will make their running better? Cross training, by far. But there's other things you can do too. Other things you should have or maybe could have. Thing about Learn to Run, I always say, do you need a watch? Do you need something to monitor everything? And I'll say, no, not at this point. You don't really need it. I'm lying. You should have something. When I first started running, all we had were the Timex Ironman watches. We couldn't even set those for intervals. We could set them ring like once, right? So if I want to do 1 and 1s, that's great because I could get a ring or buzz every 1 minute, right? But if I wanted to do say 10 and 1s, I could just set it for 10. I couldn't set the 1. So I'd set my watch for 10 and it's for 11 minutes, thinking I'd just magically look at my watch at 10 minutes and walk. That didn't really work. And so a lot of times I was just running for 11 minutes, walking for a bit, running for 11 minutes. That didn't work either. So then we started getting watches and specific watches for us, for fitness things, right? We got, I remember the first thing we got was a Polar. It just measured our heart rate. It didn't do intervals either. Then eventually we got ones that had watches on them and we could set for intervals. We could set them to alarm. And so we knew 10 and 1s or whatever, we knew how to set our heart rate. We had to do a lot of math to figure that out, but it did it. And now we got to the point where we have watches that do almost everything except run for us. And I'm going to say for Learn to Run, do you need like a lot of bells and whistles? No. But think about the future. What are you going to be doing after this? Are you doing anything else? Are you cross training? Do you want a watch that'll monitor, log your bike riding, swimming, exercise, or just running? So that's the thing. And do you have to spend a lot of money? I'd say you can get away with like $100, maybe 130. You don't need everything. Like we sell one that's I think $1,200. You don't need that one unless you're climbing mountains and flying across the ocean and skydiving, whatever. No, but it's handy to have. I say you don't need it, but I say it changed the world for a lot of us. Is I can set intervals on here. I can set 1 and 1s or 10 and 1s, but I can also set it for like 2 kilometers and 1 minute break, or 2 kilometers and a 30-minute break. Whatever works for me. For this clinic, you want to follow the schedule, but yeah, a lot of options. And I can use it for swimming. It actually counts my laps for me, so I don't have to count 1, 2, 3. It'll tell me when I finished, what I've done. Biking too, whatever. Cadence it'll actually measure. So yeah, there's a lot of options to having these. And I'm going to say, Do you need one? No. Do you need to spend the money? No. But you know, it's an accessory. It's an advantage, right? It's like we don't use wringer washers anymore. So yeah, at least I don't think anybody is. My mom, I think, had one like into the 1970s. She's not watching this, by the way. Other thing is, we're starting to get lighter earlier and lighter later in the day. But if you happen to run in the dark ever, which you probably will, if you keep this up, headlamp, probably vital as well. Two things, first of all, to see where you're going, but even more important for people to see you coming. I don't know if I told this story before, but I remember doing a run in the River Valley out of the Kingsman Fieldhouse, running a path, and I didn't have anything. I didn't have a headlamp. I wasn't reflecting anything. And guy comes on a bike coming the other way. I just moved to the side. I don't know why I did, but he came straight down the middle of the path. And he's same thing, no headlamp, nothing reflective. So if I hadn't moved, we would have collided. So it's handy to have. It's handy to see where you're going, especially if you're running on uneven concrete or off-road. You want to see what the road in front of you is like. And the nice thing is about these, make sure you get one that, first of all, is, okay, is this going to work? I may have, oh, there it is. That's the on button. So again, the brightness is pretty important. It's measured by lumens. So the higher the number of lumens in there, I think lumens, anyhow, the higher the number, the better. And I'm going to say go for the best you can afford. Because you want this to see. You don't want it just to be a little bit of light, right? Sometimes there's some races we get these free. We got them last year at this thing called the night race. And I still have mine in my package, so it's handy to have. And you want one that can move. So this one I can point down so you can actually see the trail in front of you. So another option. And then you go on your head. We have ones that'll fit on your wrists or on your knuckles. I don't know if I got one with me or not. Let me see. I do. This one, it doesn't have batteries in it. But again, I just put this on my hand. There's one for each hand, and I just run and it points at the ground or wherever I want to point it. So another option. But it's handy to have and handy to see. And there's other options too. There's others that'll fit around your waist. Actually, I got a friend who's got one of these for her head. She's got such a skinny waist, she puts it around her waist so she can see the ground, which is really kind of cool. But light, you want to be able to see, and you want people to see you. It is important. There's other ones we have that actually have like I don't know what I want to call them, but they have lidded parts on it that go over your shoulders, and they'll actually light up too and flash if you want. So again, another option. Don't know if you need that much, but reflective is good. And if you just want reflective, get yourself like a vest or get something like this. I just put it around my shoulders. It reflects, right? It's bright, people will see you. And actually during the daytime, it's not bad to have that. I mean, the whole point of this is being safe. Or something like that, right on. It's just orange. I don't know if you can see this. It's okay, it looks yellow in there, but it's actually, honest, it's orange. Just put it around your wrist, arm. Sometimes you need friends to do this for you, but just around your arm so people can see you. You put them around your thigh too as well. A lot of these I get for free. Like you do races, you'll get some of this stuff for free. So do lots of races. Yeah, there's another one here somewhere. I may have thrown it out. Okay, I never throw anything out, so I'm lying. But yeah, it's handy to have. Happy to see. Other thing you might want to have, especially if you're running on your own a lot, grab yourself a whistle. There, ta-da, whistle. You might hear my daughter yell right away because I'm doing that. But a whistle, do you really need it? The reason we got these is we're doing a lot of trail runs in the Rockies. And if you see a bear, you're supposed to blow a whistle. I don't know if that attracts a bear or scares a bear or lets everybody around you know that there's a bear, but handy to have. We also use bear bells too, right? And I think I use mine mostly on my bike. But these are the most annoying things you're ever gonna hear on a trail. So maybe that drives the bears away just like it drives away us the runners, because you hear one of these, you wanna run faster. Okay, so other things. Hydration. Lots of options, guys. And again, a lot of people you'll hear say, if you're just doing under 5K, if you're doing like half marathon, do you need to carry water? Yes. You don't have to, but I found, I got into that mindset. So many people told me, you don't need a water for 5K. So I stopped carrying it. There's one day I actually could have used it. And after that, I just said, screw it. I'm carrying water wherever I go. You don't maybe not have to take it, may not have to use it, but if you don't have it with you, you're kind of screwed, right? You can't drink water in most rivers, and there might not be a water fountain nearby, right? So why not? Okay, where did I put my water bottle? There it is. Good, so water bottle. If you find these anywhere, let me know, because this is the last one I got. It just goes around your waist. This goes in the small of your back. Voila, you got water with you. And we sell these things, we don't sell these things yet. Maybe they'll come back, who knows? But handy to have. And just, this one's so old, the zippers are broken, but it's got a little pockets on either side for keys or credit card or whatever. They won't carry your phone, which is kind of, now everyone wants to carry their phone, maybe not the best option. But Other options, and I think more and more people are doing this now, hydration packs. Something like, ta-da, this thing. There, it's reflective, great. It's great for utility, I guess utilities. It's like a utility belt like Batman had. So there's lots of pockets in it, so there's lots of places to put stuff. This one's upside down, there you go. So pockets around the front. Actually, I'll put it on, what the hell? I'll model, just saying. I'm not a very good model, but whatever. Come on, where is it? This is a lot easier to put on when you're not in front of a camera, just saying. There we go. Oops, that was my coffee, by the way, the other great accessory. Anyhow, yeah, it just goes around your chest. Pockets for you. There's a bladder that goes in the back. I know I've got one of those here somewhere because I had it the other day. Of course not. Oh, there it is, bladder. So just this thing. You open up the top, fill it with whatever you want, Gatorade, Powerade, water. There's little tablets you can get too called, there's one called Nun, N-U-U-N. Goo makes one as well. Just subtle flavor, just know it's there. If you don't like plain water, it helps. But again, just something like this in the back of the hydration pack. And it will have a hose, like there. This, you just bite on the valve and drink as you go along. If you need it, if you don't need it, you don't have to drink it, but it's, again, handy to have. And I'm starting to get more and more like this rather than the waist belt because they don't make them anymore. And there's others you can get too as well. This one, it actually has bottles with it. So you just fill up the bottles, you don't have to worry about the bladder. And two of them, if you want to just take one's fine. But it's handy to have and it's good to have. And again, some accessories are, do you need a lot of accessories? The one time we see most people is they come in the store and they're injured. And you can tell right away they're injured because they're going to the rack where we have our injury prevention stuff. And they think that stuff is gonna fix them. It's just like shoes. A shoe's not gonna fix an injury they're gonna prevent, but they won't fix. That's why we had Stephanie Dumont last week, because if you have a problem, go see a professional. You can ask us, we'll maybe give you tips, but most of our tips will probably be wrong. And Volt say at some point, go see somebody that knows what they're talking about. Physio, if you're more comfortable with your chiropractor that you know really well, fine. GP, a lot of GPs, good GP, if he's not sure or she's not sure, will refer you to a physio. I actually had my doctor once refer me to a chiropractor, which seems like really weird, but it worked. They know what they're doing and they know what we need to do, right? So doesn't hurt to get fixed properly. I'm gonna say that a lot for the next 5 weeks. So this thing, if you wanna carry your phone with you, if you have to, if you feel that need, I don't know, my phone dies when it's cold out, so I don't really carry it with me because it's kind of useless if you can't use it. I'm thinking if he dies, you can still dial 911 if you have to, or I'll call somebody if you fall down. But again, for your phone, put it there. I don't use this a lot. That's why it's covered in dust, but it's an option. Okay, other things. Balls. These things. Again, just like foam roller. These things for underneath your feet if you get plantar fasciitis or you just want to massage your feet. Not a bad idea. I'll see if I get somebody to show us how to do that as well. I'm like light bulbs are going off in my head. But yeah, for that, or just behind your knee and just behind your knee, just sit down and roll the ball back and forth. That kills you, but it works on your calves. So it's like having a masseuse. Like I say, massage therapists are great to have as a go-to person as well. If you got a lot of things that hurt, go see a physio or go see a massage therapist, a sports massage therapist. They know what to work. There's a guy I go to here in Edmonton, or St. Albert rather, and he works with like hockey players. He goes to like the Olympics, and he knows his stuff. And it's gonna hurt. A good massage therapist, it is gonna hurt, but it's gonna feel so good at the end. And if there's something that they spot that you should see somebody about, they will tell you that right away as well. I think the first time I saw a chiropractor, that was it. It was just massage. And he looked at my back, she looked at my back and said, okay, you got a problem here, go see a chiropractor. Fixed. And a good chiropractor wants to see you just as long as they need to see you. I've had chiropractors, they want to see me like 2 or 3 times a week, every week for like months. That ain't happening. That can get expensive unless you have extended health care. But do I really want to do that? No. And I got one guy I see here once a year, and he fixes me up, and bang, I see him the following year. And he actually forgets about me sometimes. I'll show up and he'll say, have I seen you before? Yes, a year ago. So not a bad idea to have that round of people that can help you out. Massage therapists, physios, and other things. Do yoga. Yoga, if you don't like stretching, we're going to talk about stretching probably next week. Stretching is great for after or just randomly, but not before a run. Before a run, strength training. I've sent you that, attached that bit for you on the in our curriculum after last week's talk. Just some exercises for you to do. Don't need a weights, don't need to go to a gym. Just do a couple of them. Squats are great, lunges are great. Just before a run, they wake up your legs and say, hey, we're going for a run. So that's not bad. I think what we're going to show you next week, probably for like Mondays, email, maybe Tuesdays, ABCs, butt kicks, high knees, and C's. I don't know what they call C's. I call it rolling a keg underneath a chair or bench. But I'll show you what that is. I may even attach an email with this. There's going to be lots of attachments to this, by the way. You probably got that. Anyhow, so accessories. I've got this. I bought this. This is almost like a foam roller. It's just easier to pack with me, and it just, whatever I need to do, it does. So again, shop, but also when you're shopping for accessories and stuff, don't be afraid to ask us questions. I had one guy come in the store yesterday. He just went and grabbed a pair of insoles for his shoes. And I asked him, well, why are you buying these? And then he explained it to me. I said, you'd be better off with another pair of shoes, because he needed support, and he's running in shoes that like are 50 million years old. And they're not doing what they're supposed to do anymore. And insole's not going to fix that. An insole's not going to fix a shoe that's been done. That's bottom line. Insole's sort of almost like an orthotic, but not quite. We used to be able to make our own insoles at the store. We don't do that anymore. But a little bit more. If the shoe's almost there, maybe think about an insole. If you're trying to extend the life of a shoe, don't do that, because that's not going to work. Once the shoe's done, it's done. And also, same thing with shoes. Bring them to us. If you're not sure if they're done or not, bring them to us. One thing about our stores, the running rooms, and I'm not going to knock other stores, but we're not a department store. We don't want to just sell you stuff. We want to sell you the right stuff. We want you to come back. So if the shoe isn't what it should be and isn't doing what it, we'll show you why, and we'll show you the difference between an older shoe and new shoe. But if it's still good for a couple months, 3 months, 6 months, okay, it won't be 6 months, but we will tell you it's fine. We get people that freak out when they ask, well, how long is this shoe going to last? And we'll say maybe 5 months, maybe 6 months, maybe 8 months. Depends on you. How often do you run? What do you run on? I'm not going to ask how much you weigh, but if again, I think I said this in the shoe talk, if you're, say, a 90-pound ballerina running on feathers, or if you're a linebacker that's running on asphalt, which is going to have a shoe last longer? Obviously, the lady that weighs 90 pounds. So it's manufacturers used to say 8 months or 800 kilometers. For me, it's 400 kilometers, and that's it. I make sure at about 350 kilometers, I buy new shoes so they overlap, and I never run with a shoe that's worn out. So never get injured again. So good advice, right, Warren? So yeah, other things. Swim goggles. Okay, these are really dusty because I don't really use them much. But again, for swimming, take up swimming. That's a good option. Headphones. I thought I brought mine. I didn't I? Okay, Warren. Oh, there they are. Aha. These are called Aftershocks. Great. A lot of us can't not put stuff in our ears, right? I've tried earbuds. They don't work for me. The other thing is when you put earbuds in, that's all you're going to hear is the music. Sometimes people say they take out one so they can hear around them. Some say they'll turn their volume of their music down or their podcast down so they can hear stuff around them. Again, safety. You want to, if you're running on your own, even if you're running other people, actually this is rude if you're running with other people, but if you're running on your own, you want to be able to hear what's going on around you, right? Maybe it's just some dude on a skateboard coming up behind you that doesn't make noise or doesn't want to let you know he's coming. Maybe it's just a random dog running at you. But maybe it might be something more nefarious, right? So you want to be able to hear what's going on around you. These things are this is the gem, right? It just goes over your ears, right in front of your ears, not in your ear hole, and they work great. And the only thing I've ever noticed is if I crank it up really loud, the bass seems to vibrate a little bit. Otherwise, great. You can hear everything going on around you. I use mine when I cut the lawn, and I'll have my phone in the garage, and it carries for quite a while. It's handy to have if you want, and also you can watch TV and hear music as well. They do actually come with earplugs if you don't want to hear stuff, but I'm going to say great idea. Earbuds are fine too, but I want to be able to hear what's going on around me, and I've never felt comfortable with it. They always fall out. I've tried pretty much every brand, so this works. And there's different types, there's different models. Some have more compression in them, so they fit a bit better. Only thing I've ever had problems with is if I happen to be sitting back in a chair, it might bump it a little bit, but nah, it never does. And some people will say it doesn't work great with a toque. I've been fine with it, so it's not. I'm gonna say it's urban myth. Anyhow, so that's a lot of accessories. Yeah, buy other stuff, and again, ask us. Like, I wish I hadn't bought this thing. I'm never going to use that because A, it looks painful. I don't ever need this much massage and pain in my life ever. But again, if it does, fine. This is probably better, but you can just use a golf ball to do what this does underneath your foot, right? Or a frozen water bottle. Anyhow, that's my take on accessories. We'll talk tomorrow night, Thursday night, 6 o'clock. We're talking with Morgan Micheletti. No, I can't ever pronounce her last name. It's supposed to start with an M and rhymes with spaghetti. Anyhow, she knows, she's a nutritionist. She's taken nutrition here at the University of Alberta. She's done, I think, my last 4 talks for me. Amazing. I'm going to say it's simple to follow. She doesn't overwhelm you with a lot of stats and numbers and stuff, and just makes it simple. And it's just for before, during, after for Learn to Runner if you want, or beyond, but also general. And she knows her stuff. If you have a question at all, I have like about 5 of them for her. But it's better if you guys ask the questions, because it's not about me, guys. It's about you. And again, we got her. We got the Broad Talks got moved to, I think, March 2nd. Not sure if that's the right date. So we will have more guest speakers coming up, and more of this, and more of me talking for the next 5 weeks. So talk to you guys tomorrow.